It's day 2 on the live stage at the Triple Crown Slumpbuster in Council Bluffs, Iowa. Council Bluffs Recreation Complex, and of course it's the greater Omaha area. It's College World Series time in the baseball landscape. It's also Slumpbuster time, youth baseball. Over 500 teams will be flowing through Omaha in this 16-day time frame, 4 sessions of baseball. And we are thoroughly, firmly, definitively into session 1, which means final scores are hanging up on the board. Brackets are starting to take shape. I'm Pat Anderson. This is Matt Crisp. Matt out of Georgia with the Titans Baseball Club. Appreciate you coming out this morning.
Thanks for having me here.
11-year-old division is where these guys are at. You had a couple of – one of the interesting features of the Slumpbuster, by the way, there are several interesting features, one of which we talked about yesterday, that invite-only TCSB D1 championship structure that gets put together 8 teams in all these different age groups. There's another part of this event called the lightning round, which before you actually get into your real pool play that feeds into your bracket play, you can come out and just get a couple of barnstorming games. You guys did that yesterday. You had good results, 32-0, the final score, the cum score in those 2 games. But what for the lightning round yesterday? How do you approach that? What did you do with that part of the tournament?
Yeah, so for the lightning round, for us coming from Atlanta, being so far, we wanted to make sure we got as many games as we could possibly get. We treated it kind of like scrimmages, if you will, get some of our kind of middle to bottom pitchers that don't throw a lot, some reps on the mound, get some kids reps in different positions that they don't normally play, and really get ready for a full play starting today.
So yesterday you get the 2, you get, presuming some swimming pool broke out, or were the kids down here last night for the festival part?
They were. We came over last night for the Fundamental Skills Challenge that took place here at the Council Bluffs complex, so that was a lot of fun. And there was a lot of pool time, a lot of water park, and running up and down the hallways in the hotel. So the kids are having a great time.
Which hotel are you at?
We're at the Colo Water Resort over in Omaha.
The heart of it all. So when I brought teams through here, we stayed at that place a couple times. And it's Colo Keys, this water park that's attached to this hotel, and it's pretty legitimate. It's a pretty nice Omaha water park.
It's a great spot to kind of keep the kids confined, let them get some full time. They play a lot of basketball, so despite not being on the baseball field, they still want to compete and get in the pool.
I haven't been by there this year, but they still have the giant arcade in the basement.
They have the giant arcade that got a lot of play last night as well.
Yeah. So if you come to Omaha, nothing else happens. Just go to the Colo arcade area. Now you got to get them out of bed though this morning, and you got 2 games today. This will be your pool play that will then slot you in for your seating for the single elim bracket. Now, is this your first shot at the Slumpbuster? First time you've been through?
It is. This is the first time we've been out. I brought my son out last year to the College World Series just to watch. Walking around the merchandise tents, we saw kids walking around with their uniforms, started asking questions, and everybody just spoke highly of the event. So we were extremely excited to kind of bring the kids to a new experience. Being from the East Coast, a lot of teams go to Florida, Disney and play, which we had done. But this was just an experience I thought would be great for the kids to play here and see kind of the highest level of collegiate baseball play.
Yeah. So on the College World Series tonight, the opening ceremonies, big fireworks show. Are you going to get a chance to do any of that, or?
Well, it depends on how our pool play goes today. We'll certainly be done early enough, but depending on our seating, will dictate whether we have an 8, a 10, or 12 o'clock game tomorrow. So.
Yeah, that opening ceremony, they don't start till about 8:45 p.m. on a Friday night. Goes till about 10, after 10 o'clock, and then getting out of there. It's a busy night at TD Ameritrade, so getting out takes a while. You have to get that early draw. Can't pull that off.
Hopefully we'll have a later draw.
You were here last year, though, so you had your boys with you, so you got a chance to see some of this yourself. I mean, the whole experience down around TD Ameritrade, and even the Friday night opening ceremonies portion of this is sometimes the thing that kids have the most fun at. The fan fest and all those things going on.
The experience last year was just fantastic. The fan experience, the merchandise area around the park, having gone to a lot of sporting events, this was, as a baseball geek, this was absolutely the highlight of any sporting event I've been to. So we definitely do that. There's
a lot of food, great food down around there, but don't be really hungry when you first get there. You got to wait a little while everywhere you go. Exactly. With the College World Series, do you have a favorite?
I mean, being from the South and SEC country, there's a number of teams certainly represented. We've got a lot of kids that are LSU fans, and that's the game we're going to see. So that should be fun on Saturday night. LSU travels very, very well with the fan base, so that's probably a lot of kids will be going for.
All right. So you don't adopt Florida?
despite the colors, which we look exactly like the Gators colors, we don't have a lot of Florida fans.
Yeah.
The president of our academy coached at University of Tennessee years ago, and so that's where the T came from, and then he just liked orange and blue, so no affiliation to Florida, even though it looks like it.
Yeah, if you live in Georgia and you're not a Florida fan at heart, it's really hard to just cross over to support them in an event like this. You're either in or you're out.
Exactly.
With your Titans club, I know you're telling me you've got the organization has teams everywhere from 7 years old up to sort of the collegiate summer level.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit more about the Titans.
Yeah, so Chance Beams, the president of the academy, he coached at the East Cobb Baseball, which a lot of people nationally know. For years, he left there about 5 years ago, started his own academy, and we have 2017 cross baseball and softball. So originally it was just baseball, but fast-pitch softball is growing dramatically, and certainly in Atlanta it's taken off, and so we have 27 teams ranging from 7 to 17, and then we have a collegiate wood bat team made up mainly of Sunbelt players that come over. So we have an indoor academy, about 16,000 square foot indoor academy, plus we practice at Lake Point Sports Complex, which is headquarters for Perfect Game. So it's a pretty good setup, and it's a great academy and a good way to kind of develop the kids for the next level, whatever that is, whether that's middle school, high school, or if kids have aspirations of playing college.
With your 11-year-old team that you're here with in Omaha, what's the background on that? How long you had that group, and what's the makeup?
There's been a core group of kids that's been together since literally 6 years old, kind of in the rec parks and all-stars. At 8, we left the rec park and went travel, took that entire team, and as you grow, each year develops, you'll get some new kids that have added. So we probably have 5 of the same core group of 11 kids, and as we've had success, more and more kids from around the area have kind of come and tried out and joined. So it's evolved over the years, and we've picked up some pieces, and the same thing will happen next year for us. But it's been good group of parents, which is also key for this age, is a good chemistry amongst the parents and the players.
Yeah, good. Yeah, and as you said, it's a key. Over the years, being around the youth baseball and youth softball scene and youth sports, get off the diamond sports, things are things across the board. It strikes me that 95% of the people at least are there, parents and umpires and everybody are there for the right reasons and are trying to make it better. It's that squeaky little percent that tends to get talked about a lot, but it's an important thing that you mentioned. I mean, it all has to start from there, because you spend the least amount of time actually in a game on the field for all this stuff you do.
Exactly, and I think setting expectations from parents early on is key. We try to be upfront. We're still a developmental age and a developmental academy, so we want to give kids the opportunity to play different positions and kind of learn what they're good at. But as they progress and get older, I think it's important to let parents know where where their kids' skills are and aren't, and what they need to develop. And most of the time, you have that conversation up front. Parents understand, or it may not be the right fit for them. But then you have very few problems throughout the year if they understand the expectation. It's when that's not set that things can kind of get awry at the end of a season.
Yeah, I like the developmental comment. And that said, you've had some success on the diamond. You play a lot of Triple Crown. Looking at the results that I can see just at the Triple Crown website, you've had a couple of nice outings already this year. Congratulations on some championships.
Thank you. Yeah, we were fortunate to start the season with a win. The opening tournament back in February at East Cobb, and then had one down in Savannah. So the guys in the local region in Georgia, Florida do a great job with venues and teams, and so we've been competitive despite kind of moving kids around, and so it's been fun to coach the kids. When I was playing, I didn't see kids as good as what they are today. The coaching they get, the work they put in is different than when I was a kid.
Yeah. The team you've got right now, you're going to get these couple of games today and then get into your bracket play. One of the beauties of this, the College World Series and all the things going on, the festival last night and Domingo Ayala running around here. One of the other beauties of this is, as a Crossroads of America location, the diversity of geography that you see when you come here. So for you guys coming from Georgia, you're seeing teams from states that these kids probably aren't used to seeing kids from. It's kind of an eye-opening experience for a young player.
It's fantastic for the kids to get to kind of measure up and see, when you have success in one local region, that's great, but how does that compare to the rest of the country? And so to be able to play teams from California and Texas and Colorado and see what brand of baseball is played and how good the brand of baseball in Georgia is just fun for the kids. And they have a good time talking to their classmates when they get back, saying, hey, we played a team from California, and we got to hang out with them at a pool. And, they become social media friends, which is shocking at 11, but,
Yeah.
they text each other at 11, and it's just cool to see that those friendships will last beyond this weekend.
Well, last thing I want to ask you before you head off to coach a couple ball games today, at the 11-year-old level, and I think it changed a little. You've had these kids since they were 6 years old and little people. But now at the 11-year-old level, if you look at teams that have, and it's not all about the final score, you got a bigger mission in mind, but if you look at the teams that have success in a bracket that, at the end of the weekend, you tend to go, those guys are consistently good. What is it at 11-year-old that makes a team good?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think the answer is teams that have a strategy. In pool play, they may move kids around, and in bracket, they go to what most people just call their base defense. Best kid at each position, and that's consistent from inning to inning and game to game. It helps the kids get comfortable with each other on the field, knowing who's going to get a ball in the hole, who can't, what do I need to get, and just getting comfortable playing side by side. Those teams that do that consistently, game over game in brackets, tend to be the ones that are playing deep on Sunday. And so our strategy has evolved, our philosophy's evolved over the years, and we try to do that in pool play and in bracket. We try to get to a base defense that gives the kids the best chance to be successful and the team the best chance to be successful. So I think that's what we'll start to see our team do today and in the bracket play starting tomorrow.
Yeah, and as you're letting the kids have fun last night, getting breakfast this morning, I know any coach's first step of challenge when you think about your next game is, okay, who's going to throw strikes? And then we'll build around that. So may the strikes be with you today. That's always the first thing that a coach, if you got that first 10 pitches, you got a kid going, you kind of feel how your day is going to go right out of the
Don't
block.
walk the leadoff hitter.
Yeah, let's get to the zone, let that umpire know we're going to be putting it in there. So anything else with the Titans we haven't talked about that you want to make sure gets said?
No, I just, sincerely appreciate you guys having us. We're excited to be here in Omaha, and I think the kids are having a great time. But excited to be here and represent the Titans Baseball Academy and the state of Georgia and play against the best youth baseball in the country.
Matt Crisp is with Titans in the 11-year-old bracket. Good luck on the field today, Coach.
Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it.